looks great. You know, in my opinion, if I were to get, you know, if I have here this bunch of metal, I think it's what 73 refined. So you're gonna make a bunch of heads. It will be nice. And I'm gonna give away all of the heads I make today to you fellas. So let's do this. Let's hope we get a Dead of Night, you know, something rare like that would be interesting. So let's see what we get first. Ah, the turtleneck. I remember when this one was added into the game. Let me show it to you fellas. Because, you know, on the crafting table, there's a bunch of old cosmetics that people don't even know they exist anymore. I think this is one of those. You know, it's a very simple jacket for heavy. It is quite different from the original jacket, you can see. And I really like this style, you know, it's kind of like a punk, or kind of like one of those motorcycle gang jackets, you know, that kind of badass action movie character, I think. And I really like the neck part of it. I think there are a few cosmetics for heavy that I can remember that have this sort of neck detail on the shirt. So it's quite nice. I can imagine you fellas making a bunch of cool loadouts with it. Would be a good one to get. So it started out well, you know, it's a very cheap one, but it looks good. And one of the things that makes me enjoy crafting hats from time to time is that, you know, there's a lot of cosmetics that are forgotten because TF2 has so many cosmetics. And crafting those cosmetics, I think, kind of like refreshes my memory about them, you know. The Man's Lex, this one is very popular. I don't know if it is cheap or not, but I know it is very popular, at least here in Brazil. A lot of people like this one. It actually looks good on my fireman loadout here, you see? Very nice. Very nice. I think this one is a bit more remembered, the Man's Lex. It looks pretty good actually with my fireman's loadouts. I might get one of those in the future. It's just that I really like my mustache. I think the mustache looks better. But pretty good, the Man's Lex. Really like it. And Axolotl is asking for free stuff. Be careful, Axolotl, asking for free stuff, you know. Because I've seen scammers kind of like seeking out new users like you that ask for free stuff. So they will kind of like add you and say, I will give you free stuff. All you have to do is click on this link and log in with your account credentials, and then you get your account stolen. So be careful about asking for free stuff like that, Axolotl. You kind of like stand out like a possible target for scammers, you know. Be careful with that. I think the best way to get free stuff on TF2 is to join raffles on scrap.tf, you know. They have a bunch of public raffles and you can join for a chance of getting something there, you know. Or you could join our raffle that we're gonna start next week, you know, the giveaway I'm gonna do next stream. If you are, all you have to do again is to be a part of our Steam group. The link is in the description down below. So yeah. I'm Coffee saying there, the dictator is underrated as heck. Yeah, you know, I feel like that as well, Coffee. It is a very nice mustache, I really like it. You know, there's a bunch of cool loadouts you can make with it. Ah, this one is nice. I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly. Die Regime Panzerung. How do I say that? I think it's supposed to sound like German, I think. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is a promotional item that got added into the game because of that game, Return to Castle of Wolfenstein, I think it is. It's part of a set that turns the heavy into one of the enemies from that game. You know, there's also a pretty cool helmet and stuff like that. But by itself, it's also a very nice cosmetic, you know. I can see people making some cool loadouts with it. Very nice. You know, usually crafting hats is a waste of metal because most hats you can get for one refined and some reclaimed. But it's fun, you know, to remember all those hats and to see what we get. I think we're getting some good stuff up until now. I really like it. Ah, the bubble pipe. I like this one a lot. I like it very much. Let me show you, fellas. I think I'll show it this on my alien loadout here. Let's take off the tongue here. You see, look at that. This is a very nice cosmetic for Pyro, the bubble pipe. And I've seen people with unusual versions of the bubble pipe, kind of like Disco Beatdown, Miami Nights. I think those effects that have some sort of transparency work very well with this hat here. But just the default version is actually pretty good, and especially if you want an alien Pyro, you know, something like I have here, it works very nice, very nice. I really like it. This is a classic, for sure. Lots of classic cosmetics, a lot of classic hats we are getting here. Let's do one more and then I'll check chat. Let's see what else we got. Ah, the Charmer's Chapeau. This is also a classic for Spy, you know. I think it's a pretty old hat, and I remember all the edgy Spies back in the day really liked it. Yeah, you see, it looks so dashing. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Ah, let me line up here, you see? Very nice, very nice. I remember this was one of the favorite hats for edgy Spy mains. Good times. I think I was using, what hat was I using? This one here, Tough Stuff. We like that. So pretty good crafts we got, you know, until now. I can see people using them to make some very nice loadouts. You know, TF2 is a good game to make friends, I feel like. Other multiplayer shooters, you know, like CSGO, Valorant, and even Fortnite, I think they are kind of hostile, the environment, you know. And not to say that TF2 doesn't have a hostile environment, because there are toxic people playing TF2, but in general, I think it's a game in which it is easy to make friends, you know. I don't know, at least that was my experience back in the day. Don't know how it is for you fellas today, you know, new TF2 players, but let me know there in the comments. What do you think? Do you think TF2 is an easy game to make friends, you know, to meet people, to actually exchange ideas, play together, and that sort of stuff? Because when I used to play CSGO, for example, I didn't feel like that at all. It seemed people were very fixated on playing only with a group of people, you know, and not adding random people. Ah, this is another old one, the person in the iron mask. I think I used to have a genuine version of this one, if I'm not mistaken. Let's do it here. Yeah, you see? I don't think it is that good, you know, not as good as the bubble pipe, but it is very different from the Pyro heads and the Pyro cosmetics that we have nowadays. I think nowadays most Pyro head cosmetics, you know, that replace the whole head that we get are kind of like whimsical or quirky in some manner. This one I think is supposed to be from a character from... what's the name of that game? With the Big Daddy and the little sister, that one that's under the sea. If you fellas remember the name of the game, let me know in the comments there. Ah, BioShock, my wife whispered it to me. I think this is supposed to be from one of the BioShocks, one of the BioShock games. But yeah, it's quite different from what we get nowadays. I don't know if I like it or not, you know, it's not bad, but I think the ones we have nowadays are more stylish. So, but you probably could make a cool loadout with that one. Ah, the Mempo. This is also a classic for soldier and demo man. If you want to have kind of like a Japanese style soldier, you know, a samurai soldier, you can use this one. And it even has multiple styles. You see, with different paintings in the face. This one actually looks pretty good, you know. I'm seeing a lot of cosmetics that maybe I would switch my dictator for, you know. I never thought to use the Mempo with this hat here. It actually looks kind of sick. It's just that it looks a bit intimidating, and I'm more of a carefree TF2 player, you know. I don't really care to look intimidating nowadays. But very nice cosmetic, you know. And again, you can use it for demo man as well, and it goes very nice with any loadout that's using, for example, the Hefzatoichi. I think it's a good match in terms of teaming. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Yeah, you fellas are saying the game. BioShock, yeah, pretty good game. I haven't played BioShock 2, and I haven't played BioShock Infinite yet. But the first BioShock, I really liked it. You know, I think it's a special game. You know, one of those games that's fundamental. You know, kind of like Half-Life and Doom, in my opinion. I know there are some people there on the web who don't like the first BioShock because it's not really a shooter. You know, it has shooting mechanics, but I think it is more like an RPG, in my opinion, from what I can remember. But it is very nice. I really like it. Pretty good game. If you haven't played it yet, go check it out. I think there is a remaster that you could get, you know, to make it easy to run on newer PCs. Ah, the Scout Shaco, look at that. This one isn't that old, but it's pretty good, you know, one of the best heads for Scout. Actually goes very well with my loadouts. I'm getting a bunch of heads that I would actually use. So I think that's pretty nice, that's pretty good to craft heads like that, you know. I'm really appreciating what I'm getting here. Let's see what we get next. And then I'll check chat to see what you fellas are commenting there. Ah, and the head warmer. This is another old one. I don't remember exactly when it got added into the game, but I know it is old. Where is it? Ah, here, I can't use it, I think because of the eyes that I'm using on this loadout. Let's go to another one. Look at that. Ah, actually it looks... Everything looks nice with my loadouts. Look at that, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It even matches the kind of like winter theme I'm going for. Back in the day, I used to use another one a lot. This one that I have here, the Winter Wonderland wrap. And I think you can even use a hat with it. But the head warmer is actually pretty nice, really like it. Very nice winter cosmetic there. Pretty cool. So we are lucky today. I don't think we are making the metal back in terms of value, but we are getting some pretty good items. Very, very good looking. So yeah, let's do another one and then I'll check chat again to see what you fellas are saying. Let's see what I get here. Ah, the Wilson weave. This is another one that was very popular back in the day. Don't know how it is today. Ah, it looks very nice on Scout. I really like it. It is the hair from Wilson, which is the main character from the Don't Starve series. You know, so pretty good. Very nice. I think it is even paintable, so you can have a Scout with an interesting hair or something like that. I don't see this one very often nowadays. I think it has kind of like been forgotten. I can even place it without the headphones, you see? So even better, I think. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I miss the days when TF2 used to do promotional items like that, you know. You would get a new game launching on Steam, and then a bunch of TF2 items to go along with it. It was a lot of fun. It was very nice. I miss when Valve used to do that. Ah, the Hardy Laurel. This one is another one that is promotional. I think this is from Total War Rome or something like that. And if you use the Hardy Laurel, if I'm not misremembering, if you use the Hardy Laurel on Man vs. Machine, you get an option to enable Rome vision. That's kind of like it turns all the robots into Roman themed version of the robots. So you have kind of like Roman soldiers and Roman centurion bots and stuff like that. It's a very interesting way to see Man vs. Machine play out. So very nice one, and also pretty classy. Some good hats we're getting here. Very nice, pretty neat, pretty cool. What else are you saying there? Let me see. Ah, you fellas are there making friends. Ah, that's lovely. That's nice. You know, I really am thankful because I have a wholesome community here. It's pretty good. You fellas get along and all of that. Because I oftentimes see, you know, on other comment sections and on other live streams, you know, people being very toxic on YouTube. And I'm just happy we are not like that here. So I really appreciate you fellas, you know, being nice to each other, being nice to me. It's a good time. I really like it. Ah, the whoopee cap. This one I think isn't a favorite, but I think that some old school people like to paint it green. I remember seeing a bunch of these painted green or pink, you know, those obnoxious colors. But this one is a very old hat. I don't really like it, don't think it looks that good, you know, it's kind of silly. But maybe that's a good thing, I don't know, someone might like that. Let's keep going and see what else I get here. Ah, the Heavy Artillery Officer's Cap. This is a good one, I think. It's kind of like a Team Captain knockoff, I think you could say that. But I like it because it stays kind of crooked on Heavy's head. It's not lined up correctly, and I think that gives it a lot of character, you know. I used this one for a while when I was newer to the game, and I think there's also a matching hat like this for Medic, if I'm not mistaken. I think there are kind of like with the Ushanka, you know, the Gentleman's Ushanka. I think there is a matching hat for Medic with that sort of style. So it's a pretty good one, very nice. Back in the day we used to have a lot of kind of like those military themed hats, you know. Nowadays it isn't like that as much, I feel, but back in the day it was a theme. The virtual reality headset. Ah, we have here a Valve Index for engineer. Let's see how it looks. I remember this was one of, yeah, kind of ugly. I don't really like it, but I think this was one of those hats that were bugged, I think, that you kind of like could use to have two unusual effects at once. Yeah, I don't know if it is like that anymore, because you see, I can't use hats with it. But I think this one was one of those, or perhaps I'm thinking about the other one, because there are two VR headsets for on TF2, you know, this one, and there is I think the viewfinder, something like that. I think that's the one you could use to have two unusual effects equipped at once. I think that's it. So regardless, you know, it's an item for engineer, not one of my favorites, but it's a cosmetic. Okay. And Daryl Dixon is saying, I don't usually play spy, so why not give to someone a hat to someone that likes spy? We're gonna give a spy hat to Axolotl. Very nice, pretty cool. If I think that's what's going on there, if I haven't misunderstood anything. But yeah, I used to play a lot of spy back in the day. I saw myself as a spy main, actually, you know. But I grew out of it very quickly. Brimstone. I don't really remember this one. It is all class, it seems. It's a bunch of horns. 2 horns here. Let's see. It seems to have more than one style. Hat and no hat. Yeah, I think the no hat style actually looks better. Pretty cool. I did not remember this one, you know. I know there are a bunch of horns on TF2 from the Halloween updates, but I didn't know there was one on the crafting pool. So that's pretty nice if you want to have kind of like a demonic loadout for Halloween. This could be an interesting one. Kind of baffles me that it's not Halloween restricted, because it seems like a very Halloween sort of cosmetic. But okay, I'm not gonna complain. You fellas are gonna enjoy it, I imagine, to do some cool loadout. The Crosslinker's coil. I used to use this one on Spy. Let's go. Yeah, you see how it looks good on Spy? Very nice. This hat is also a promotional item from an indie game that's here on Steam. I don't remember the name of the game. The name. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the game, how it's called, but it's a very fun 2D kind of like spy stealth game. I remember I bought it when it launched back in the day, and I played it until the end, and I had a lot of fun with it. So go to the wiki, the TF2 wiki, look for this hat and search what game is it, you know, what game is it from, because that game is great. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Pretty good. These styles, let's see, I think there's one. There's one for Scouts, no hat and no headphones. Yeah, I think it's for the other classes that have hats and headphones by default. But yeah, I love this hat on Spy. I think it looks great on him. You know, really matches Spy's style. So this one was a nice find for sure. Pretty good, pretty good. And you fellas liked the horns there. Brimstone looks very nice here. Yeah, you know, pretty cool. This was a nice surprise, and it is all classes, as you can see. So you can use it on all your classes. Yeah, I think it's a great fit for Halloween, for sure. And Jared is asking there, which Brimstone came first? TF2's Brimstone or Binding of Isaac's Brimstone? Ah, that's a good question. We would have to go to the wiki to check the year in which this hat was added to compare with that. So yeah. And Coffee checked the name of the game that this hat is from, the Crosslinker's Coil. The game is called Gunpoint. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's perfect. Go check it out, fellas. If you like 2D stealth games, that's a great game. I have a very good impression from it, and I played it I think in 2014 or 2015, so it's been a bunch of years ago, and I still remember it as a fun game. So go check it out. It is pretty nice. I recommend it. And nowadays it should be very cheap because it's a fairly old game. So let's see what else we got. We are I think halfway through. Ah, this one is the other headset. You see the virtual viewfinder. This is the one that you can bug with other cosmetics, because it is not really a hat. It's more like glasses. You know, it uses the face slot, not the head slot. So you can use it with other hats. You see, actually looks cool with the Crosslinker's Coil. Let's check my other hats here. If you want a demonic robot or something like that, you see, this one is the one I was thinking about. I think you can even use both of them together. Yeah, mechatronic engineer with the gunslinger perhaps would look interesting. Yeah, you see, kind of like a full-on robot engineer. Do you have another robot styled cosmetic? Let me check. Ah, we can use with the binoculars. Yeah, but the binoculars don't appear; they disappear there. Maybe there is another robotic cosmetic for engineer that you could use, you know, kind of like the Robro or something on the torso or on the legs. I think there are some robot legs for engineer you could look for to have this full robot engineer, you know. Or perhaps a demonic robot with the horns. The virtual viewfinder is kind of ugly in my opinion, but it is a good cosmetic because it is very versatile. You know, you can do a lot with it. And the unusual versions of it are very, very expensive. You know, it's crazy. We should announce, again, for those of you who arrived now, the giveaway should be announced next Sunday, okay? So I'm crafting the items today, but I'm gonna open the giveaway next Sunday. And to participate, you have to be a part of our Steam group. The link to it should be on the description down below, okay? So that's how it goes. So let's keep going. Ah, this one is nice. The Cuban Bristle Crisis. I don't really like cosmetics with cigars, you know, because I don't think it is a good thing to promote smoking, but it looks badass, you know. I really like this one. Yeah, you see, it's so badass with the beard. I wish we had the option to remove the cigar, you know, kind of like with a secondary style or something like that, but I really like this one. I used to use this one with the Bill's hat, that hat from Left 4 Dead. So this one's quite nice. I imagine whoever gets it on the giveaway is gonna really enjoy it. It would be very nice, pretty cool. Yeah, and I think that beard is from the end of the line update. I think that's when it got added, if I'm not misremembering. But it's a very nice cosmetic for sure. Ah, Armored Authority, another classic for Soldier. I really like this one because it is very shiny, you know. Looks great, you know. In my opinion, if I were to get, you know, if I didn't have any unusuals, you know, and I didn't like the fireman's helmet that I have, I think I would get an unusual Armored Authority because it's old school and respectable. You know, it's a very respectable hat, I think. Excellent. They're very cheap nowadays and common. You can buy it for, I think, 1 refined and something. But it's a very nice hat. I really like the look of it. Pretty good, pretty good. So let's keep going. We are almost at the end. Let's see what we get here. The Maid Man. This one is just a rose that goes on Spy's coat. It's under my duck, actually. Let's remove the duck, you see? This one I think is kinda lame. I used to use it when I was newer to the game, but simply because I didn't have any other cosmetic. So that one kinda lame, I think. So let's do this, fellas. I think I'm gonna go to the end now. Let's see. Ah, the razor cut. This is another cool one for Demo Man, you see? Looks very nice, pretty cool. Actually, again, it's one of those that would look nice with my current loadout. I really like it. Very nice. You fellas are gonna enjoy it a lot for sure. Let's see. I think we can make more 4 or maybe 3. I think 3, and we will have one refined left, I think. Ah, Vive la France! I remember when this hat was for Spy only, but it seems it got the all-class treatment a couple of years ago. Pretty good. I like it because it is a combo of a hat, some glasses, and a cool mustache for you. So you have the option to use the other loadouts for coats and stuff like that. So this is a nice one as well. People who had it in unusual form when it became all class must have been pretty happy back then. There's a bunch of hats like that were for a single class, and at some point in TF2 history they were turned into all class hats. And that's pretty neat, pretty nice. Marshall's Mutton Chops. Another one that I think is from BioShock, I think. I think this was supposed to be a promotional item. It looks pretty good. I really like it on my soldier loadout. Very nice. We are lucky today, fellas. Perhaps I should open a crate. Nah, not today. I don't have the money to do that today. And here's our last one that we'll be able to make. So let's hope it is a Dead of Night or something like that, fellas. Send me luck there in the chat, so you fellas can have a Dead of Night on the next giveaway. It would be nice. It would be pretty good. Ah, the Compatriot, pretty good. I think we actually got a full set for Soldier here. Very nice. Soldier actually has, I think, 2 or 3 eagles. And I think 2 of them on the same shoulder, and they don't conflict with each other. I saw it before. A soldier with 2 eagles on the same shoulder, and I think you can even have another eagle on the other shoulder, because I think there are 2 or 3 different eagles you can use on soldier. This one I think is the oldest one, if I'm not mistaken. But it is pretty cool, very nice. Those sort of like partner or pet cosmetics, you know, I think are very neat. I really like them. I like my Hobson here, for example, that Uncle Liu gifted me. I really appreciate it. And it has what? 1,596 points scored. So not a lot, but I've been working up my score with Scout. So yeah, fellas, those are the items I'm gonna be giving away next week, okay? So make sure you are a member, you request access to our Steam group, the link is down below, and then you'll be able to participate in the giveaway next week, okay? Supply